Pearson is right when he says that you shouldn't tear down the mission. The 4th Street mission has been serving the lower Manhattan area for over 47 years.
If your building isn't down by December 31st, I lose my permits to build. I'm talking to this jerk right here.
Well, where did he go?
Howdy folks, Merry Christmas and welcome to the Spaghetti Theater once again for the Spaghetti Theater Review. Joining me this time is Crispin number 1, the OG Crispin, original Crispin that is.
Hi all, Crispin number 1 here, keeping it real. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
For my holiday special review, since it is December, the month of the Christmas, something I only enjoy the spirit of at this point in my life. And so for Christmas, I decided to review an episode of one of my favorite television series ever. Definitely in the top 5. It's Quantum Leap, everybody, and it ran for 5 glorious seasons before it was canceled, and well, way too early in my opinion. It was a very creative concept for a sci-fi TV series that was also an educational drama and an inspirational show all at the same time, filled with moral values, all thanks to good writing and a perfect cast, consisting simply of Scott Bakula and Dean Stockwell. I love Quantum Leap so much that, yup, I own every episode on glorious DVD. Folks, what do you think of that shit? So I went with Season 3's Christmas episode, of course. Quantum Leap's retelling of probably the most retold Christmas story ever. A Christmas Carol, where Sam has to convince a rich douchebag that he's a piece of shit so that he can see the error of his ways. That's the tale, folks.
And it's the best retelling of it. Hands down, people.
Really, Crispin? Is that your opinion? The Muppets did a pretty good job too, you know.
It wasn't without its charm, don't get me wrong. Michael Caine stole the friggin' show. But until they come out with a Remo Williams Christmas Carol, Quantum Leaps is by far the best.
Well, okay, Crispin. Thanks for that. I'm sure Roger Ebert would agree with you. And on that note, let's get to the damn Christmas episode already, folks. I have gifts to not wrap or even buy. So it's Quantum Leap, everyone. And if you're wondering what the hell it's all about, well, they lay it out for you every single time in this opening intro that I have memorized by now, so fuck it. Take 5, Deborah Pratt. It's my turn, baby. Theorizing that one could time travel within his own lifetime, Dr. Sam Beckett stepped into the Quantum Leap accelerator and vanished. Poof! He woke up to find himself trapped in the past, facing mirror images that were not his beautiful Scott Bakula face with that little gray hair streak, and driven by some unknown force, maybe God, to change history for the better. His only guide in this journey is Al Calavici, an observer from his own time who appears in the form of a hologram that only Sam can see and hear, usually. And so Dr. Beckett finds himself quantum leaping from life to life, striving to put shit right that once got fucked up, and hoping to fucking Jesus that his next leap will be to leap home, so he can bang Penny Parker again, and go hang out with his brother because he's alive now. So here we go, as Sam leaps into this poor guy, as he's helping this rich asshole put his underwear on, meaning he's naked, and Sam's looking directly at his dick right now. So pop! This might be even worse than that time he leaped into the electric chair, right before they were about to pull the switch, and the governor called. Don't worry, spoiler alert. So as usual, Sam holds it together and powders this guy's granny panties for him, and helps him into them right before uttering his classic catchphrase.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, it's gonna be a fun one. I'm gonna be staring at this guy's dick for an entire leap. So, cut to the secondary intro, with opening credits and theme music, so we can see all the random chicks that Sam Beckett got to make out with, while quantum leaping through time. Or who could forget the time that he epically struck out, and it's starring the great Scott Bakula, like I said, as Dr. Sam Beckett, and the equally great Dean Stockwell as Al Calavici, wait, Admiral Calavici. So thumbs up, buddy. It's quantum leap time. So here we are, folks, in New York City, Rockefeller Plaza. Christmas Eve, and it's 1962. Wow! So that episode of Mr. Ed where he meets Clint Eastwood is still brand spanking new, which I'm sure is the last thought on Sam Beckett's mind right now, as he finds out that he's leaped into some rich a-hole servant. Too bad he didn't leap into Eddie Rochester Anderson. At worst, Jack Benny shortchanges you. Isn't that right, Mr. Benny? So this is our rich douchebag, a self-made millionaire named Michael Blake. He's pretty much Donald Trump. And boy is he a pampered rich asshole with absolutely no heart. So he has Sam here go fetch his newspaper on the...
Why not try the foyer?
Foyer?
The foyer. Yes, sir.
I have no idea what he's talking about either. Rich guy talk, I guess.
The foyer.
Because Sam has leaped into his servant, Reginald Pearson. This guy, Fred the Donut Man. Time to make the donuts. Remember that guy? He sort of looks like this guy, doesn't he?
Pearson, you forgot the talc.
So yeah, he's Reginald Pearson now. Or just Pearson. Doughy servant to this prick. A man willing to stare at your junk as he puts your underwear on for you. Pearson. My man, please. There are other jobs. Better jobs. Even making the donuts in the morning was better than this. So then Al shows up from the future as a hologram that no one can see and hear but Sam Beckett.
Who appears in the form of a hologram that only Sam can see and hear.
Wearing this loud-ass shirt, Al's famous for his crazy wardrobe throughout the series, as much as he is for his lusting over women.
I sure would like to find one of those under my tree.
So Al fills Sam in on who Michael Blake is.
Michael Blake, one of the richest guys in the country.
And all Ziggy could find on him was that he got rich by putting small businesses out of business. And now he does the same thing, only to bigger businesses.
Put more people out of work than the Great Depression.
So bing bang boom, he's a millionaire and a total dick.
You may have to bathe him.
So Sam brings Shithead his newspaper as this ass kisser goes on about how war with Russia is inevitable.
I only hope that we have the good sense to strike first.
Only Sam from the future knows better and gives them a little glimpse of things to come.
We will never go to war against Russia.
So in your face.
In fact, the time is going to come when we break down all the barriers and, well, we work with them as allies.
Now we work with the Russians. Just like the Federation working with the Klingons.
Never! It is true that in the future, you and the Klingons will become fast friends. You will work together.
Sam then gets a call from the lobby and informs Blake that there's a lady from the Salvation Army here who would like to speak to his loving ass. Don't expect any donations from him, lady, because yeah, he don't give a fuck about helping the Salvation Army, and demands that Pearson, aka Sam,
Get rid of them, Pearson.
get rid of them now, and then release the hounds. So Sam tries, ever so politely, to do this. Only this lady, Downey is her name, is very insistent since Blake has been blowing her off for far too long now.
And I'm not gonna let him tear down the 4th Street mission, now or ever.
And apparently wants to tear down their mission and put all these people out on the streets. On Christmas. Just to solidify his douchebag status. So then Blake busts in to meet this Downey, who he is shocked to find is not this geezer, but this hot little filly.
I am Captain Downey.
And methinks he likes what he sees,
Downey?
as Downey begs this guy not to tear down their 21st Street mission and put Whiskers here out in the street, since yeah, she's basically Edith Keeler.
I'm not a do-gooder.
And she must die!
Edith Keeler must die.
I'm just kidding. She doesn't have to die this one. Only once again, Blake proves that he's a heartless dick and tells them to just move the hell out.
There's nowhere to go.
That's not my fault.
Nice guy, real nice guy. Invite him over for Christmas dinner. Sam then tries to convince him not to do this, only...
Shut up, Pearson.
Yeah, shut up, Pearson, you donut-eating bastard. And fuck off, Calloway, you ass-kissing doofus.
Shut up, Calloway.
Yes, sir.
And you too, Salvation Army mission people, fuck off.
It's not my job to save the world.
That'd mean you cared about people.
Go die somewhere and do society a favor. Bah humbug and good day. So no matter how much Sam tries to help this guy, he just won't budge. So Al just lets loose and calls him a grouch.
Which is being a grouch.
Ooh, a grouch. Wow, really letting loose. And he actually heard it. And apparently he can see Al too, so he calls him on this grouch remark.
Did you say?
Which surprises the hell out of Al and Sam, since yeah, opening intro, folks.
Who appears in the form of a hologram that only Sam can see and hear.
A hologram that only Sam can see and hear, and sometimes children, animals, mentally challenged people, that photographer from Vietnam. So Al gets the hell out of there, and now Blake looks crazy.
Well, where did he go?
So, what was that shit about, right? How in the hell did he see and hear Al too? So the Salvation Army leaves for now, and quite loudly too, just to be dicks back.
It's all in God's hands now. Lieutenant, as loudly as you can.
It's what Jesus would do.
2, 3, 4. Bring in the sheaves, bring in the sheaves.
So back to Sam and Al now.
How could Blake see you?
Where Al explains that Blake seeing him was some kind of fluke. According to good old Ziggy, that is.
Well, apparently his neurons and mesons are on a frequency close to yours.
Who claims that Sam's neurons and borons are similar to that of Blake's. The hell's a boron? Huh. Ziggy. Then Ziggy says that Sam is here to save that douchebag's soul.
What does a man like Blake need to have saved?
His soul.
Only how, Ziggy? How are we supposed to save somebody's soul?
Every time we try and get some background information, Ziggy comes up empty.
And since Ziggy can't seem to find any history on Blake, fuck you, Ziggy, Sam decides to do a little snooping around on his own in Blake's closet and finds this box of old photos, which reveal that Blake was once a real human being with real human being feelings, and not the sad rich asshole that he's become. They also discover that he changed his name and that it was originally Blokowski or something.
Well, no wonder we couldn't find any information on him.
Which is why Ziggy couldn't find any history on Blake. Shit, sorry Ziggy, I didn't know, I'm sorry. You wanna hold Ziggy for a second? Huge, isn't it? Alright, Al then points out what a Scrooge-like character this Blake guy is.
Well, he's a real Scrooge.
Which immediately gives Sam an idea. Scrooge!
Scrooge.
Michael is Scrooge.
Like that Bill Murray movie.
Right? He's alone, he's miserable.
Of course! We Scrooge this guy, you know?
We Scrooge him.
Show him his past, present, and future. Show him what a fuck-up he is so that he'll appreciate life and actually feel bad about throwing a bunch of people out of their mission onto the streets on Christmas. Like a total scumbag. That's when we get our Al's a big horn dog scene where Al follows Blake's maid BB around so he can ogle her tits, I guess.
Deck the halls with me and BB.
That's our Al. Ziggy. So cut to later at the mission, where Sam tells Downey here about his plan to save Blake's soul and their mission all in one day, so he can leap the hell out of there and on to his next obligation. So cut to even later, as Sam the servant takes on the role as Blake's driver too, as he Miss Daisies his ass around town. And to set his Christmas Carol plan into motion, has left that box of old photos in the back seat to hopefully trigger some old emotions. And it works! For a few seconds anyway, when he points out this woman in the photo. It was his mother, and she died shortly after this picture was taken. And apparently, he loved his mother. Well.
She was a very beautiful woman.
Only it all goes to shit when Sam mentions his dad, who turned out to be a total scumbag.
Your father was a lucky guy.
My father was a bum. He left us when I was 3.
We do know why he's so bitter against life, at least.
Do you know that poor woman died on her hands and knees, cleaning someone else's bathroom?
So then Sam sets his next part of the great Christmas Carol Scrooging into action by setting up a flat tire on the Blake mobile, right in the middle of Skid Row.
Pearson, this is Skid Row for crying out loud.
Only wait a minute, Blake recognizes this neighborhood from his childhood, and is thrown into a nostalgic flashback to the good old days, before life happened. Then, by chance, wink wink, they run into that Salvation Army lady, Downey. She's credited as Laura Downey, but I'm not sure if they ever say it in the episode. So they walk and talk as Blake starts to show that he's not such a pile of soulless shit after all, and has some nice memories in there.
We used to play stickball for hours, every day.
And it's totally out of character seeing him not be a dick.
I grew up on this street.
Then, in the heat of his happiness and non-selfish ways, actually buys everyone a bag of chestnuts.
2 bags, please. Make that 3.
Thank you, sir.
And he even knows the vendor. It's a friend from his childhood, all grown up.
Max Wyszynski? Mickey Bukowski.
Mickey, she's up, damn, it is you.
And selling chestnuts on the street of Skid Row. So they reminisce.
Didn't we work like we worked since we were kids? Didn't we work like we worked since we were kids?
Ah, good times.
Didn't we work like we worked since we were kids?
But of course, this moment of Blake not being a bitter dick is short-lived. Once again, when he asks about their old friend Charlie O'Reilly. So where is the old bugger?
Did you ever hear from him? Charlie was killed.
And yeah, Charlie O'Reilly has sadly died. Became a drunk and got hit by a bus after he lost his job at the bakery, the one that you closed.
Pretty bad shape since he lost his job at Henderson's.
The bakery. I had the guts and the fortitude to automate Henderson's Bakery. That's why United Federal wants to buy it.
Yeah, he got laid off when they automated.
So in a roundabout way, you killed him, Blake. And by the way, Riley had 5 kids too. So
He had 5 kids.
the moment has been ruined. He gives the chestnut vendor a big tip and bails the hell out of him. Now that he's an asshole again. Way to go, Sam. You tried. So cut to that night in Blake's apartment as he stares blankly out the window, next to his big-ass Christmas tree,
The bigger tree is much better.
and ponders life. Depressed now. Fuck Christmas.
I don't care if there's 3 wise men at the front door.
Fuck the wise men. And you know what? Fuck off, Sam. Your Scrooge plan has failed. I guess you're stuck as this donut-eating servant forever. So enter Al. Good old Al, who disagrees and thinks that Sam's plan is working. Since Blake is sitting over there thinking about life,
That little walk down memory lane jogged something in him. He's sitting there thinking about it.
so yeah, that's true. That's when Sam recalls his Christmas of 1962, which he can remember fucking perfectly for some reason, even though he has a Swiss cheese memory. Where his brother Tom, who just a few leaps ago he saved from being killed in Vietnam, like he was supposed to be, well, how the two of them rode around on a sled that their dad got for them. Their dad, Scott Bakula in old man makeup. So Al leaves, and then Sam goes over to Blake and tells him how sorry he feels for him.
I was thinking how sorry I feel for you.
So Blake points out what a rich and successful guy he is compared to him, and how proud he is of that.
I own more modern art than the Guggenheim. I pay more for 1 month's rent than you earn in a year. I'm the living embodiment of the American dream.
He's living the American dream. I guess he was economically viable. Only he's still miserable, even with everything.
And you're miserable.
That's when Sam points out that he can prove to him that he doesn't actually have everything. So he drives his ass to the future site of that Blake Plaza that he plans to build right on top of that stupid old 21st Street mission.
Just who do you think you're talking to, Pearson? You're my employee, not my conscience.
Then, while he's trying to convince him, he's distracted by singing that he can hear coming from that very same mission, as they render Carol of the Bells.
Carol of the Bells.
So Sam takes Blake over there where they spot Downey doing the Lord's work, where we see that Blake is indeed attracted to her.
Beautiful, isn't it, sir?
Yes, she is.
So he can feel those things. We may have something here. Only he's not here to save your pointless mission or anything, as he kindly points out.
Captain, this building has to come down. I have everything riding on this project.
But they get him into singing carols with this old-timey Newsies era orphan kid. I guess he wasn't fortunate enough to team up with Dick Tracy, which is too bad because Downey would make a good Tess, I think. And once again, Blake's not being a dick again. He's getting into the spirit and even joins them in a fine Polish dessert
Piernik and Makovic.
that reminds him of his mother, as he actually tries to get to know Downey better. That's when Al shows up and starts to think that this sleep was a success.
You did it, Sam. All we have to do now is sit back and let nature take its course.
That is until that Dick Tracy orphan comes wandering back with a 3-legged toy horse named Sheldon that he offers to Blake as a gift.
This is for you. His name is Sheldon.
I'd put my money on a horse named Sheldon any day.
Oh, an adorable Crispin.
Yes, it's quite charming, it is.
That's when Ziggy's odds start to drop rapidly.
Uh-oh.
Damn it, Ziggy! Can't you do anything right? Pew! Just as this Newsies kid mentions that he doesn't have a home when snap!
We don't have a home to live in. Do you have a home?
Just like that, he's a dick again. Great, Ziggy. He's figured out Sam and Downey's little scam to bring the human out of him, and he's furious now.
You were trying to make a mark out of me, and I was actually falling for it. This building comes down in 1 week.
Your mission is still screwed.
And it's going to take a lot more than Piernick and Makovic and some three-legged horse to stop it.
Bah humbug and good night. Blake bails the hell out of there. Mission failed, Sam. Get used to looking at that guy's dick every morning. So cut to much later that night at Blake's place, who wishes Sam a good night and then warns him about trying to change him into a decent human being.
Change me into somebody that I'm not.
Then Al shows up, with no plan. How can we save the soul of a guy like that? It would take a miracle, Al says. When another light bulb idea goes off in Sam's head, bing! And Al's not too excited about it, whatever it is. And Sam's plan? Well, to keep going on with the original plan. Keep Scrooging Blake.
And I think we should just keep at it.
They already did the ghost of past and present, and they failed miserably. So surely the third time will be the charm, with the whole ghost of Christmas future bit. So cut to that night, as Blake is woken up by Al!
Hey, Blake, wake up!
All dressed up as his version of the ghost of Christmas future. Since, as we know, Blake can see and hear him too.
Did you say?
Only Blake still recognizes him from earlier that day when he saw him in the hall.
I know who you are. You're that jerk from the lobby. I recognize the bad clothes and the pale complexion.
So, good eye, Blake. You saw him for like 2 seconds. Now he shows up in your bedroom, in makeup, and you recognize him like that. Only no, Blake, that was another weirdo. This is the ghost of Christmas future.
I am the ghost of Christmas future. I'm here to show you your future. Ooh.
Only Blake doesn't believe him, so he tries attacking him a few times. Only to realize that...
He's not even here, he's a hologram!
Is he dreaming?
I must be dreaming.
So Al starts hovering over his bed, which does finally scare the shit out of him. So he yells for Sam to get his ass in here, who pretends not to see Al, making Blake look insane.
I'm sorry, sir, but the only thing I see here is you.
Al then demands that Blake go to the site of the future Blake Plaza if he wants this shit to end.
You're going for a walk on the wilds. Get my toes. Yes, sir.
So Sam drives him there, where Al is waiting to show him his miserable ass future.
I'm here to show you your future, Moa.
By first showing him what this Blake Plaza will look like when it's completed, using Ziggy's computer effects. And wow, Ziggy, good work, you finally did something right. What a grand ass plaza it is, too. So excited now, Blake asks to see more.
Show me more, Ghost. Show me what else happens to me.
Alright, we'll give you more shit. Al gladly obliges by showing him this news report that shows old-ass Blake filing for bankruptcy.
Is this the end of the Blake Empire?
Analysts say that Blake was undone by his unbridled greed and uncontrollable lust for power.
So he loses everything.
Nada! Zero! Zilch! Zip!
But don't worry, your plaza still exists.
It's still there.
Only it's under new ownership. It's Amazon headquarters now.
They took my plaza.
So then Al urges Blake over to this alley, where we find him sitting on the grave of Blake. He died, and horribly too.
How did I die?
You took a header off the top of the Blake Plaza. In the rush hour.
He jumped off the Blake Plaza to his death, right into rush hour traffic. Splat. So damn Blake, I hope it was worth it. And on a sad but strange note, the actor who plays Blake, Charles Rocket, committed suicide in 2005 by cutting his own throat. Very sad and unfortunate. Rest in peace, Charles Rocket. Didn't even know you could cut your own throat. So finally, Blake is convinced. They had to use future technology to do it, but Blake realizes that he's a soulless monster and doesn't want to die alone and pathetic now. He's a horrible person, and he knows it. And Sam agrees with him.
I'm a horrible man.
Yes, sir.
But Sam assures him that there is still time for him to change.
Do you really think so?
Yes, sir, I do.
As this North Star suddenly shines so bright, it spotlights right there in the street. which convinces Blake that this must be a sign.
It's a sign, isn't it?
I think so, sir, yes.
So, success, I guess, as Blake wanders into the mission, begging for Downey's help.
Do you have room for one more lost soul?
So Al gives Sam Ziggy's report. In 6 months, Blake marries Downey. Yeah, they didn't waste any time. And Blake still builds that plaza. Only he puts their mission on the first floor. So he's cured, folks. Way to go, Sam and Al. Your Scrooge plan worked. That's when Sam compliments Al on putting that star up there in the sky. When Al says, hey, that wasn't me.
I didn't put the star up there.
So, I guess it was God and Jesus. Merry Christmas, everyone. And so Sam leaps the hell out of there. Whee! Ploop onto his next mission.
Here we go again. Just kidding.
On this boat in the middle of New York Harbor. Cause there's the Statue of Liberty. When this chick busts in for a makeout session. Then an immediate slap to the face. Whack! So what do you have to say about that, Sam?
Oh, boy.
Oh boy. Oh yeah, of course.
Oh, boy.
His catchphrase. And the end of the episode, folks.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
That was Quantum Leap's A Christmas Carol. Which leads me into my final thoughts in this Quantum Leap Christmas episode. I've seen every Quantum Leap many, many times. It was a great series that ended far too soon. As for that new Quantum Leap, well, no comment. You'll never recapture this, so don't. You could have made a TV movie years ago when Dean Stockwell was still alive, but you blew that shit. It's over, folks. Then there's the sad tale of Charles Rocket, the actor who played Blake. Unfortunately taking his own life in real life. He did have a notable acting career though. Isn't that right, Crispin?
That's right. He appeared in movies like Dances with Wolves, It's Pat the Movie, Dumb and Dumber, Hocus Pocus, and was Bruce Willis's brother on Moonlighting. And he also appeared in another Quantum Leap episode, A Leap for Lisa, as a totally different character.
So yeah, again, rest in peace, Charles Rocket. And I suppose Downey is worth mentioning too. Crispin?
Yes, actress Melinda McGraw played Laura Downey. This was her third acting job. She would later appear on The X-Files as Scully's sister, who I think Krychek killed. She then appeared in The Dark Knight as Barbara Gordon, but most notably, she was Sid Madison on the 90s cop show The Commish.
Thanks, Crispin. And on that note, I'll end my first look at a Quantum Leap episode with Season 3's A Little Miracle. Thanks to Al and Ziggy, and on Christmas too. So Merry Christmas, everyone. Hope all is well. A thanks to all my subscribers again, and leavers of comments. Always appreciated. Adios for now, folks, and I'll see you at the theater.
Feliz Navidad, bitches, and a Happy New Year!
Way to be in the spirit.
And wonders of His love, His wonders of His love, there's wonders of His love.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Deck the halls with me and BB.